needle in a haystack kind of thing. I want to ask
Yeah.
you guys about this whole South Korean, kind of like entertainment phenomenon, right? Because your Hollywood storylines can be quite formulaic, right? You can kind of like tell the pace and the direction it's going to go, right? But then along comes something like Parasite, and it's like completely different. I mean, they kill off the main characters, for example, right? It's like hello, right? So how do you view what's happening in South Korea and the way they are treating? It's a very original approach, right? And they have been very organic. Well, not organic in the sense that it hasn't come without the help of the government, right? But it's very unique and very original. What are your thoughts on the South Korean entertainment
Two
industry?
things.
Yeah,
First, about the government, extremely insightful, like
exactly.
far-sighted,
South
right?
Korean soft power is
Right.
amazing now, right?
Like our government, I think, don't invest
US
enough.
or Malaysian?
US don't invest enough in arts and really to support the local industry. They don't realize that this is actually soft power. Maybe they
Huge,
realize
huge,
it, but
yeah.
they don't support it. But look at like how the rising of South Korea within 10 years. It's cool to be Korean. Like my daughter was like, "Oh, are we part Korean? Because Blackpink is Korean,
Right,
But
yeah.
but 10 years ago it wasn't cool. And how? Just because the government had, a vision to invest in media. And that shows the power of entertainment industry. Like that shows how, within a short period of time, even less than a generation, things can turn around. And then tourism, everything Korean style.
Yeah, that's a huge multiplier.
Right. And why don't we see it yet still? Like
It's intriguing that you say our government, and then I asked you, and then you said the US government.
Yeah, okay. Well,
So you've got your green card. You've done the conversion already.
yeah, the green card. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But then it's our government. I'm Malaysian, right?
Yeah. But both sides, neither the US or the Malaysian governments, give any kind of like. Well, they
No,
pay lip
Hollywood
service
is
now,
pretty
right?
supportive. Like, it's the biggest industry still, right? Entertainment. And I feel like when you talk about Parasite, I see, great strides. I'm so proud of them. Squid Ink, they opened so many doors.
Correct,
and but in the US, I still see one of the highest qualities like movies come by. They are in Cannes. They're probably not in Malaysia because these movies don't sell internationally, or they don't make the numbers. They
So
don't make
Cannes
box
is not about
office.
the commercial. Cannes is about the art, right?
Yeah, about the art,
Right,
like
yeah.
Parasite.
Yeah.
But
Parasite did well on both, which is intriguing,
that's true,
right?
Right? Then
Yeah.
then you win big time, right?
big time.
right?
Yeah.
And I see. So you're saying that Parasite is not only art,
I
but it's
think
commercial, but US
I
doesn't
think
do
Korea
it.
has cracked the code. They've done both, and they've been very original in the delivery of that whole ideal, right?
Yeah.
I think Korea, like one of the things that people don't realize about Korea, like the same time K-pop came about and was such a worldwide phenomenon, there was existing C-pop and J-pop from China, from Japan,
Which
right?
paved the way in some sense.
Well, Hong Kong paved the way
correct,
big
correct.
time for
And Hong Kong
movies.
pop.
Thanks,
But
Jackie.
but, but at the same time, there was like a very kind of like traditional old school approach to all of those other countries' music, for example. But the reason why K-pop really became so cutting edge was because there was a lot of cultural interplay between the US and Korea that people don't really know about, especially in the entertainment in Korea. There was a ton of travel between LA and Korea and Seoul, for example, because a lot of the artists, like the rappers or whatever, the K-pop singers, they would go and spend time with producers in LA, or the Korean American producers would go back to Korea and work there. So I think that benefited them to have that, learning from another country, sort of like how China, learned a lot from Hollywood in the film business, and now doesn't really need Hollywood anymore and can make blockbusters on their own that are of the same quality as US films were. But I feel like, in terms of Malaysia, I mean, I'm not a Malaysian, but I feel very, like, I love Malaysia so much because it's my wife's country. My kids love Malaysia. I would say, just learn what you can from the best. If it's your film industry or whatever, try to take the best from there and then build your own, market, which they really are doing. And it's very exciting to see. Like, we've been part of the MIF Fest this year, and they're celebrating a lot of the successes of the Malaysian film industry, which I think is great. So I think it's it shouldn't necessarily be like, hey, we have to be separate from the world. It's like, embrace the US, embrace that market, embrace what you can learn from other cultures to be able to build your own industry here. And I think it's something that is exciting. Honestly, the theaters here are nicer than the theaters in the US.
I think that's a lot of people that don't
Yeah,
realize.
that day, I was like,
The
whoa.
Yeah.
infrastructure in Asia is by some order of magnitude superior to the UK and the US.
Yeah, oh my gosh, like Orem theaters and TRX, I was like, wow, like this is like